Alright, well, good evening, everybody. So, this is going to be the first video I've made in a while. A long while. Just because there's been a lot going on, and I've had, maybe some confidence issues. That's okay, but we're going to work on that. I'm making a video. We just got here, so I'm at Sakata State Park, Minnesota. And I am going to get ready to set up my tent. I just got here, just getting everything unloaded. I was at work this morning, left, got everything, packed up and ready to rock and roll. Had to do some last minute shopping because, of course, you can't plan everything in the world like you think you can. But regardless, so I am set. I'm going to get my tent set up, which is going to go right on over here. It's gonna be a nice flat spot. It is kind of wet. Apparently it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. My wife is gonna visit me. She doesn't know that. I didn't know that until I showed up here and the park ranger told me. So we're gonna figure it out. I got a book to read, I got my phone, so whatever, and we're gonna figure it out. But I've got steak and hot dogs and corn and all sorts of good stuff to cook up, and we'll get that going. So I'm going to pause the video here, get my tent set up. It's a 2+ person tent, so plenty of room for my wife, myself, and some of our junk, and we can get that going. So we'll get that set up right here, right now. Alright, so we're getting a brand new tent set up, which is new to me. I've set it up once in my apartment before, just went through and weatherproofed it, put some sealant on it, stuff like that. So we're gonna get that set up here. It is, like I said before, it's a SL 2-person plus from REI. I've had good luck with these tents in the past. I've got their 1P, and I really liked it. Did not have any issues with it whatsoever, even when it rained. So this unwound here, got all our hardware there. Try and get a good spot going here. Close to the fire, but not too close, and also don't want it on like too much of a slope. I kind of want to face the fire. So I think this will do nicely. A little bit of uphill over here, but not the end of the world. So let's get stakes going and the poles. So we've got kind of a funky setup, and I have a bunch of extra stakes in here because it didn't come with stakes, which was kind of my only gripe. But I bought these REI, I think they're called groundhog stakes, to go with them. And I've used them before, and they're pretty awesome. If you're using like, anything like winter-wise, they're maybe not quite that good for winter, but for something like this, it'd be just fine. This kind of spider setup going. So it's going to go this way. So this opens up the sides, and obviously these go for the horizontals. Verticals, vertices, whatever you want to call them. pretty easy tent setup, honestly. Not really that hard. Get everything lined up. Get all your kind of poles in spot. Make sure you got your angles right. And then clip it up. It's pretty darn simple. So clip. 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 This is your center clip here. Boom, that's done. You can get that, like I said, opens up the kind of horizontal axis. Clip, clip, and clip. See, it's already pretty much set up. It took like what, like 2 minutes? So I really like this tent. I have not put this particular one through a rain event, although like I said, I did waterproof it. So that being said, it should be good to go. I guess if it really does rain, we're gonna find out. And either my wife's gonna be unhappy with me, or we'll be just fine, just cuddling in the tent. So it's got 2 directions it can go. I hope it goes the one I want. So that's all set up. Like I said, that's pretty darned simple and easy. Plenty of room for 2 people. We got our bags, our mats, our stuff. I've got my car here. We are car camping, so can pretty much just chill and do whatever. So I'm gonna put on the rain fly, get everything finished up, get everything settled, and then we'll come back to you when I start a fire and make some dinner. So got it all set up. It's a pretty nice tent. Like I said, 2-person tent. Got it fully staked out. So if and when it does rain, we should be good to go. I am gonna try a new toy. I'll move this over here a little bit. So I'm gonna get, so I got these, are supposed to be really, really nice air mattresses. And then I got a quick fill thing. I've never tried one of these before. I'm gonna give it a shot just because it's so much nicer if I don't have to sit there and huff and puff until I blow your house down. It just sometimes can get a little ridiculous. So we're gonna give it a whirl and see what happens. I think that's a pillow. I wasn't anticipating that. Like I said, obviously I've never opened this up before, so I'm gonna give her a shot. Doesn't quite fit. See if one of these adapters does. That fits a little bit better. I don't know if it's gonna work very well. Give it a shot anyways. It worked when I had it plugged in. Well, yes, I mean, it was a Walmart buy, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna have to deal with it and blow it up manually. Get my lungs going. Jiminy Cricket. Well, I'll get you back when I'm all done with that. So, I blew up the one, and then I realized this is supposed to be one of those air bladder quick fill things, and I am not a smart man. I never pretended to be a smart man. Logical, maybe. Smart, nope, not me. But, so I found out that it's got one of those things. So you go through, open her up, connect it in, blow in it, and squeeze in it, and it should be good to go. Well, gosh darn it, instead of losing my brain cells getting all lightheaded, maybe I should probably try this. So I've never done this before. Let's see how it works. And I apologize for the noise in the background. This campsite is not near as secluded as it looked like on the website. and there are some kind of obnoxious children in the background. Not that I don't like children, but these ones are kind of annoying. Oh, that didn't work. Already showing improvement. All right, I'm far less lightheaded already. I think it's working. I don't know if it's quicker, but it's working. Oh, I think it's quicker. Yeah, this is nicer. That is not what I meant to do, darn it. I pulled too hard. All right, but we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a learning process. All right, success that time. All right, I like it. I like it a lot. We're gonna keep that idea around. All right, so that's both sleeping bags in the tent. I love this thing. I've never used them before, and I intend on using it a million times more. I'm so much less lightheaded. I'm gonna roll it up, get all the air and moisture and whatnot out of it. You know, these aren't the cheapest things in the world, but darn it. From first initial, like, just look, I think they're worth it. We'll see how they sleep. That's gonna be the ultimate tell. So, all right, I'm gonna get the rest of it set up quick and then build a fire. We're starting to get a little bit dark. Sunset's at 7:30, or excuse me, 8:30, and it's 7:45, and I'm in the woods. So, be back in a bit. All right, so got everything pretty well set up. Got a fire going. went through and got everything going for that. Tent, nice and set up, got pillows, sleeping bags, all the essentials. And obviously I've got like a light and stuff that we're gonna put in there later on. So now I need to figure out dinner because I haven't eaten hardly anything all day because work sucked. But work does that sometimes. So we're gonna get that figured out. And once I know what's going on for dinner, now I've got hot dogs that I can do, which are glorious. I've got a veggie track, just snack. Got a ribeye. Feeling the ribeye. It sounds pretty delicious. But once I get this fire rolling and get some coals going, we'll go from there. So, as you can see, it's getting pretty dark. The sun set, what is that, 9 minutes ago. Still a decent amount of light left. I got my Coleman white gas lantern going. I love this thing, by the way. It is amazing. It is super duper bright. You can chill it, you know, the way you want to, so you don't have to be at full whack all the time. I could probably actually just turn this down a skosh. It doesn't. The only thing I would say I don't like about it maybe is that when you turn it down, it's got like 3 settings actually, but it's kind of, it says it's a gradient, but whatever. It burns everything from like naphtha to gasoline to white gas, which is what it's burning right now, which was ideal for it. I've also got a stove that burns the same thing, so I burn that pretty consistently. It's really clean and really nice. It burns really hot. So let's turn this down. See, I moved it, but it's not moving much. There we go. We're gonna put it like kind of a medium there, and that's more or less a medium for it. So they are pretty awesome though. They're bulletproof, they're simple. You just gotta keep them pumped up. They don't take any maintenance. You don't have to recharge them. You just have to keep fuel with you, and they sip fuel. I've had this one tank, and I think it's got maybe a half, like a third to a half left, and I've had this for the last 2 camping trips, which I'm sorry I didn't film, but it is what it is. So but yeah, so I've got a nice ribeye that's got I wrapped it in bacon fat, as well as I put some mozzarella steak seasoning, which is the best seasoning in my humble opinion. And then I've got, anyways, that was weird. So yeah, my GoPro just quit out on me for some reason. Anyways, I've got my fire going. I've got the steak going. I'm debating on either some rehydrated mashed potatoes, or I've also got some baby carrots I can just throw on the grill that are seasoned from a local butcher that I have near where I live. So I could do either one. But yeah, we're gonna get that cooking. And then I'll swing back here in a little while. Other than that, just getting things cleaned up, putting stuff in the car that I don't need right now, making sure I've got everything ready. It may rain tomorrow, so I don't want to wake up and worry about stuff that I have sitting out. Everything that I have should be pretty waterproof, or like plates. Like, I don't care about plates. Plates can be out in the rain. You know, but like my book, I don't want that to be out in the rain. My radio probably shouldn't be in the rain. Cameras too probably shouldn't be in the rain. So stuff like that we're gonna get wrapped up here, and then we'll be back. I found a frog. I don't know where he went, darn it. I had to go get my camera because he was teeny tiny little. Oh, I think I saw a little movement. Darn. I was gonna name it Frog Jefferson. Why Jefferson? No idea. It's the first thing that popped in my head. Alright, well now we are looking at a beautiful steak. Hopefully it's cooked well enough. And a full cup of mashed taters. So let's see if we can get a good cut on this guy. Alright, let's see. Did I cook it right? It was dark. It was fiery. It is overcooked, but you know what? To heck with it. We're definitely gonna eat it anyways. I mean, it's definitely well done. It is what it is, you know. I can't lie. Can't say that I didn't overcook the steak, but it is what it is. Is it friggin' delicious? Absolutely it is. I don't know if it's well done. I think it might be like perfectly done, but I think with the seasoning I put on there, I think it might have, I mean, look at that. I think it might have actually like browned it a little bit. Which is really good, really juicy. Really, really tender. Goodness gracious me. All right, let's try the taters. On point. Dinner's on point. I'm hungry. I'm gonna max out.
Right before I go to bed, I'm gonna change my contract.
She showed up.
Huh?
The wifey showed up. Oh, it's blinding. But the wifey finally showed up.
Yeah, I did.
So, took her hours, but...
Hey, I'm busy. I'm a busy woman.
You're not a busy woman. You're fine. But yeah, so we've got... So she's finally here. We've got everything ready. We got a campfire. Got camp chairs. Got a tent. Everything is set and ready to go. Got someone who's around us playing reasonably loud music. But you know what? It's not too late. It's relatively early in the evening. And I mean, if it's like midnight and they're still playing some hard dance beats, well, that's one thing. But if it's like, I don't know, it's like 9:30 right now, not the end of the world. I almost forgot to bring you guys back. So now it is the end of the evening. It is cigar time. Time to enjoy a nice cigar. Watching the fire.
Hi, YouTube.
With my lovely wife.
Are you gonna post this actually on YouTube?
I am.
Are you sure?
Yes. As
You're
much as
spend the time editing.
I hate editing so very, very much.
Or you're gonna spend the time.
But I'm gonna spend the time and do it. It's probably gonna be next weekend. It's gonna be posted in probably a week. But yes, I'm actually going to spend the time editing. As much as I hate editing with a burning passion.
Oh, it's getting cold. Should I wear a cardigan?
Yeah, but yeah, you'll be fine. We're right by the fire. And then when you get in, there's, you get the...
It's like coming directly to my nose.
What?
The cigar.
Oh, the cigars, sorry. I'll drop this down here. But anyways, so we are probably gonna go to bed soon. In maybe the next,
10 minutes.
I'd say 10-15 minutes. Just have to button up the campsite, make sure all my electronics and whatnot are in the car so they're safe in case it rains. And then if it does rain, then
music stopped.
Oh yeah, the music stopped. Maybe. There's been, I guess it sounds like a band, like a genuine band.
I think so.
Sing. But they've played everything. Like they played Lady Gaga, like hardcore drum, like rah rah ooh la la. And then they did like several other songs. So I don't know if it's a cover band or what, or just some dudes enjoying themselves, whatevs. It's kind of obnoxious because it's like 10:45 at night, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. Still kind of obnoxious, but whatever. So, yeah, we're going to get in bed in here about 10-15 minutes, and then we will see you in the morning time. Fire thoughts. Just fire thoughts. Sitting here, staring at the fire. all you can hear now is the bugs, the crickets, and I think frogs and toads. And of course me. But yeah. I don't know what's better. Yeah, there's not really much better than just sitting there, enjoying a fire. You've got company, the company you want, and then I've got a good book to read. I've got cocktail. Just finished my cigar. I'm gonna button up camp here in a little while, and yeah, man, I can't argue. This is good.
Still very soft.
Good morning. I've been up since like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Finally decided to get out. It's been a steady rain. Not bad by any means. Everything's kind of moist. But, yeah, it's been a really good day. Just, honestly, just spent most of the day chilling in the tent, playing on my phone. It's just, you know, kind of rainy and whatnot, but finally we were driven from the tent. Well, I was. She's going back into the tent due to hunger. So I'm going to get a fire going. And I've got some eggs. I'm going to make some eggs and maybe chop up an onion or something. And then, yeah, we're going to get some breakfast making. And here we see a Mooney. Very much not in her wild habitat. She's in a tent. There's no makeup. There's no Korean dramas. There's no one crying and or screaming in foreign languages.
What's that?
And there's also no air conditioning. There's potentially bugs. But there's probably none inside the tent.
There is inside the tent.
Maybe. I don't think there's any inside the tent.
Right here.
On the outside.
Well,
Outside the mesh does not count, darling. And here I have made fire.
why do you sound like Australian?
Because it's a bad attempt at an accent.
What are you making?
Letting some of the dishes dry out from getting rained on just with the heat of the fire. And then I got the cooler out over there. So once this mellows out and cools down and becomes more embers and everything, I'll cook on it and I'll get some brekkie going. Just like every good American breakfast, we have bacon, some onions to top everything off, fresh sauteed eggs, and oh, I forgot the spice. I'll be right back. No good American breakfast would be complete without your God. So breakfast was delicious. We are now just chilling out, and I've got one of my pots, like plate slash pan slash whatever, boiling with some water in it right now just to clean it, trying to scrape off some of the goopy stuff. We're just chilling, and honestly not sure what to do. It's pretty rainy, pretty wet, which is alright if you just want to chill around camp. There is some fishing opportunities around here, so we might go fishing. Other than that, it's just really just chill. I mean, we've got pretty much this setup. Mooney's got some snacks. Like I said, I've got that little titanium plate slash pan on the boil. Just going through and cleaning up some of the eggs from this morning. Might take a nap. I don't know. It's everything's pretty darned moist, but it is what it is. So we'll figure it out, and we'll keep you along. So it's about 3 o'clock. We'll just a touch after. We are going to be basically cooking all the food that we have. Mooney's leaving. She's leaving here in probably 3-4 hours. So I'm just gonna make a bunch of food. We're gonna just buffet it and then hang out. Getting a fire going again. And then, yeah, then when she leaves, I'll have enough left over that's cooked already that I could just have breakfast tomorrow, maybe a small lunch, and then I gotta be out of here by like 4. Excuse me, I gotta be out of here by like 4 tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. I might leave a little bit early. I want to go fishing tomorrow morning, so we'll see when I wake up. If my body clock is the way it normally is, I wake up at like 5:30 in the morning. So yeah, but yeah, I'll show you the spread when we get everything made. Almost forgot to bring you guys back. So we got all of our food put together. So we've got a couple of very thin ribeyes, carrots, hot dogs, corn. Looks like kind of a shit show right now, but it is really, really tasty. And we're gonna mow down. And yeah, we got the fire going, so it's doing its thing, trying to keep keep the flies away as best they can. Although the flies are out for blood today. I don't know why. They're just everywhere. But whatever. So we'll deal with it. But yeah, we're gonna mow down. We got plenty of food. These ribeyes here. I'll get this situated. Here we go. That's a little better. And I made some grilled onions to go with them. So don't even need a knife, realistically. It's like I just got my fork and spoon and just ripping it apart, and it's super tender. It's really, really good. And then we got these seasoned baby carrots. They're also quite tasty. So I'm not gonna make you watch us eat, but just know it's very good. You know, honestly, this has been pretty wonderful. Mooney's leaving here in about an hour or two, and we're sitting here by the fire. I'm enjoying a nice cigar. I've got some Woodford double oaked. Not 100% sold on it. It's maybe a little too much of licking a fire pit for me. But you know what, that's okay. It's relatively decent regardless. Get a fire going. I'm full with steak and corn and a hot dog, and the only complaint I have is that the flies are out for some ungodly reason. I think I mentioned them earlier. But theoretically this evening when it cools off more, it's probably only about 75 degrees. When it cools off more this evening, they'll go away. But yeah, I mean, so we got all the food made. I've got what I'll have for breakfast tomorrow and maybe a light lunch, and that's it. And it's a good time. Yabba, do you have any comments?
It was good. Food is good. And I like it. It's really nice. Something about nature that makes you happy.
That's it. This is actually one of Mooney's first times not using an inflatable mattress.
I do still miss the inflatable mattress. I'm not gonna lie. It's not okay.
But it was better than you thought it was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually think I slept better. I almost feel like I slept better than I do at home.
I think it's because of the nature, not.
Well, and it was raining last night. And
Yeah, that too.
listening to the rain while in a tent, you know, with the dying, crackling fire while you're, you know, TikToking while going to bed, that's a recipe for nighttime.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was this was an excellent weekend. I would definitely like to. I think I'm going to come back to not necessarily this site, but this place, especially when it gets colder. I would like to do some of their winter camping because some of their other sites are really, really pretty and much more secluded. So I think it'll be pretty nice. So, but yeah, if anything else happens, I'll bring you guys back. Until then, this is what we're doing. Well, I can still kind of see me. I'll bring her in a bit here. Starting to sprinkle a little bit. Mooney's gone. I've got stuff loosely packed up. Like, a lot of stuff's in the car, but it's not like packed. So I'll just have to organize everything tomorrow morning. Starting to get a little bit of a sprinkle, but nothing serious. And I actually think it's stopped. So I don't know what's gonna go on, but I'm gonna hang out here and got some logs on the fire still and keep hanging out. I think it's time for another cigar. And this will be number 3 of 4 that I had. And then I've got one extra special, my absolute favorite ones, for tomorrow morning. So we're going to get that going. Interesting little factoid, by the way. So there's a time of night, and it's dusk. And it's about this time. It's about 10 minutes till sunset. And when I was a kid, I used to call this blue light time. Because I didn't understand it. I just knew that it was a time when, like, night was coming in. Daytime wasn't quite ready to give it up yet. And the light seemed to appear blue. Everything's got this kind of bluish tint to it. And this has always been, as long as I've been alive, one of my absolute favorite times in the world. And I called it blue light time, and I still think of it as blue light time. But I now know it's a word called gloaming. I think it's gloaming, gloaming, which is that period between night and day, and that's that blue light, that special spot. It only lasts for like 10, maybe 20 minutes. And I used to love it when I was a kid, when I was little, and I'd be walking home from a friend's house or from school or whatever was going on at the time. You know, I was a latchkey kid, so I definitely, didn't always have, my dad wasn't always home. He worked on his own. He owned his own business, so sometimes he was out, doing business stuff or whatnot. But, but I remember sitting outside on this hill that we used to play baseball on when I was a little kid. I'm talking like 10 years old. And just watching the sunset and watching this blue light time as it got deeper and deeper and deeper and finally just got dark. And then I would go home. It was only like 100 yards. It wasn't that far away from my apartment when I was a kid. But it was awesome. And this is still one of my favorite times. And it's always a time I feel like you need to be quiet. Because, like, the birds stop chirping so much. There's a couple here and there. Most people are winding down. They're kind of getting their fires. You can maybe hear some dinner time noises. Just people are starting to get quiet. Everything's starting to chill. And you start to hear the nighttime sounds. So things like I can hear some frogs, toads, crickets, stuff like that starting to chirp and make their noises. But overall, this is like quiet time. And this is one of my absolute favorite times of day, I guess. I'm not sure if it's quite day or night. It's in between. It's in between day and night. It's dusk. It's that weird in-between spot that I think it's, people who are daytime people who get up first thing in the morning, I don't know how they feel about this time. And people who are night owls, I feel like this is like their cue to like get out and do things. And I feel like there's a certain type of people, and I feel like myself included, that this is that time of night where like they love to be around and just watch. And I love just watching the people around me and watching the nature around me and having the fire. And I'm just chilling, smoking a cigar. I've got a little bit of whiskey going and just chilling and enjoying just listening and watching. It's really, really cool. And again, it's one of my favorite times since I can remember. I'm 34 years old. There's, a pretty handsome amount of remembrance there. You know, some folks are older, some folks are younger, but whatever. I don't know if it was a bug or an ash, but whatever. So I just thought it'd be a cool little thing to share. Inside the tent, it is raining, obviously. I love this sound. It's kind of dropped off a little bit, but it'll pick back up. Here we go. Sound of rain on the tent. Awesome sound. I mean, I'm about to fall asleep right now, so. Well, good morning. So this is the third and final day. I guess it was more like kind of like a day and a half, but whatever. But while going about my morning pleasantries, I noticed quite a few of a certain type of mushroom. It's a parasitic mushroom. I think it's called like Indian's flute or Indian pipe or something like that. The only reason I know about it is because there is a show on YouTube that I like to watch with some really cool guys in it. There's 4 guys. There's Robbie, Brian, Thomas, Andrew. They are Adventure Archives, so those guys are really awesome. Highly recommend watching them. They're pretty sweet. But the reason I know is because Andrew, if I got the names right, I love watching them, but I'm terrible with names, but I believe it's Andrew. He goes through and he is like a junior botanist. Like, he's really good at it. He can pick out leaves, different genus. He knows all sorts of cool little remedies and stuff like that. So again, really fun to watch. But I found this mushroom. I'm gonna spin this around here, and that is what it is. And they are all over the place in different clumps. You can see some bigger clumps right here, and it's been just raining absolutely like all day, every day. So there's tons of mushrooms and stuff popping out, but I recognized those because I thought they were really cool looking. So good morning. While I'm getting a fire going and making bacon for my last day here, I'll get wrapped up here, and then shout out Adventure Archives for actually teaching me something on YouTube. Is there a better sight or sound than bacon slowly cooking? Toasted bacon sandwiches for breakfast. That's pretty awesome. Well, here she is, ladies and gentlemen. The final cigar for the camp. As you can tell, camp is pretty well booked up. Got the last of the firewood going, just had a couple logs left after breakfast. Enjoy this cigar, watch the fire die, and then I've got a bunch of melted ice to put the fire out with. So that'll be nice. All in all, this has been a great time. I've got a lot of work to do going home and getting everything set back up, put away right. Everything's just kind of tossed in the car because everything's kind of wet. You know, the tent, the bottom is wet and muddy. The rain fly is wet and muddy. My boots are wet and muddy. Even though they were inside, it rained pretty well last night and I got a lot of splash up, so that's all coated. The inside of the tent was phenomenal. Not a single drop on the inside. Nothing was wet besides just what would absorb for just the ambient humidity, which was pretty darn high. Again, this has been a great trip. I really enjoyed it. It was very relaxing. Ate a lot of food, a lot of meat. We're gonna go home and get a salad. Yeah, and just overall chilled. I'm gonna wait for a nice sunny day to go through and set the tent back up and let it sit outside and dry out, shake all the sand and mud and stuff like that off of it so it doesn't mold. That would be bad. Other than that, just got to get all the little stuff put away, cleaned. Like the tent stakes are all coated in mud. I gotta wash some of the dishes and stuff like that, but overall should be pretty good. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad putting it all away. I can do that today, I can do that tomorrow, it doesn't really matter. Um, this is, by the way, one of the finest cigars I've ever had. It's my best friend Bill. He is also the one that got me this little cigar kit. They are Leaf by Oscar. They are phenomenal. Very smooth, very nice burning, very even burn. Just a little bit of acidity, kind of a tannicness, but very overall smooth, excellent flavor profile. So, yeah, this is very nice. So, thank you all. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope to get this up next weekend after I have some more time to go through and edit it, clip it all together, make sure it makes sense. Thank you for coming to this episode of The Guided Idiot, and until next time.